Alrighty guys, so let's explore all of the image options that we have in Blender Octane and how can we use it. So we got our sphere over here with the universal material attached to it. Now if we just search up image, we get a lot of options. We get RGB image, alpha image, image styles, grayscale image, image adjustment, which is actually an operation node, and we also get baking texture, which further down the line we're going to be explaining what it does. So these are the four ones that we need to focus on: RGB image, alpha image, image styles, and grayscale image. So let's start with our RGB image. So this is the node that is the replacement for image textures in cycles. And let's say if we load up a texture over here from bridge, I'll take the albedo for this one. Alright, so we loaded up our texture over here, so let's just connect it in. And boom, look at that. It's working like a charm. And let's say for any reason we want to adjust it, in cycles you could always add in the mapping node to control it. Over here, it's really simple. What you could do is come over here to U transform, just click on this plus button and on the projection one. Now you could move the texture however you want. And the cool thing about this setup is if you have Node Wrangler enabled for Blender Octane, just press Ctrl Shift and D, open it up and select the other texture. But right now, as you can see, I just selected the roughness, and if I directly plug it in, looks a bit off, doesn't it? And the reason is because of the legacy gamma. It's 2.2 right now. For any texture that's not albedo, put it to 1. And for the sake of it, I'm also going to be plugging in the normal. And also we could add in the displacement. And put it to 4K, and we could also increase the height a bit. So this is the standard setup for a PBR material, just like in cycles. So yeah, it's not that scary. Now moving on towards the next image that we have. So I'll just delete this material, add in a new one. So our next node, the alpha image. What does this do? So in cycles, you basically have this as like a separate output that you can just drag it and connect it in. But over here in Octane, if you want to use alpha, you need to use this node. So let me just load up any texture over here. Alrighty, so I loaded up my own logo over here, and if I plug it in towards the albedo, obviously it's black and white, so it's gonna work right off the box. But that's not the real kicker. If I take it and plug it into opacity, boom, pretty simple, right? Now coming towards the next node. Okay, the next node is gonna be image tiles. I don't personally use it that much, but it's used for UDIM. So if you use UDIM, this is the node that you can use. Now the next node is going to be grayscale images. So it's like image textures, but only for black and white. So let's say if I add in our albedo over here from our previous texture, take this out and plug this in, it's going to come out black and white. And why you might use it? So let's say if there's a situation where you don't want to use RGB images, you could always go for grayscale images. But you'll obviously have to plug it into like a mask or anything, like I did with roughness over here. Not visible actually. But here, let's just put it into the bump. Okay, now you can see it properly over here on this side. Alright, so let's do a quick recap. So in this chapter, what we actually did was we explored all of the image nodes that you get. And there were 4 of them: the RGB image, the grayscale image, the image styles, and the grayscale image. And we actually made a whole PBR setup explaining to you how you can use it in your workflow. And in the next chapter, we're going to be talking about displacement. So I'll be seeing you in the next chapter.